Hello, Aries, and welcome to January 2021. Can you believe it? Wow, this month, the more I tune into the energy of the more I dig it, but the more I understand that this is energy that requires a little bit of nuance, a little bit of listening, a little bit of patience with ourselves, a little bit of curiosity with our own process, and a little bit of adjustment. And Aries, this is such an interesting month. I think mainly because your ruling planet Mars, after spending 6 months in your sign and doing his big old retrograde, is moving into Taurus on the 6th of the month, moving on from your energy. And this is powerful because it heralds the end of a really big 6-month learning cycle for Aries, one that has really required some big review and really some personal growth at a powerful level. And so for that very reason, congratulations to you all. I know that having Mars in your sign, in some ways, that can be really fun because it amplifies your fiery energy. And of course, that's going to be in flow with you. But it's also, for me, the way that Mars and Aries energy works is it's kind of like hyper speed learning, right? Because it's like amplified. And so all of us were experiencing that. And it's like things happen so quickly with that transit. Even with the retrograde period of it internalizing, it's like things that need to change or grow, expand, morph, just like happen. And so one of the first things that came to me as I sat here with Aries energy was take a breath. Who are you now, right? All the cardinal signs right now, and you are for sure, are taking a breath because there was so much pressure these last 6 months on cardinal signs, with 3 major planets in Capricorn and Mars and Aries doing that retrograde. It has been such a time of powerful evolution for cardinal signs. Now, as we work our way through January, a few beautiful other things are happening. I'll start shuffling a little bit here because not only are you taking a breath from what Mars brought you and just asking yourself, who am I now? What does it look like now? What am I working with now? And not in a lamenting way. You know, sometimes we kind of get hung up on like what we used to have or who we used to be or who we thought we used to be and how we're perceiving ourselves. And if we're sometimes I think, January is a tough month. It is. And sometimes I think we want to have more. We want to be somewhere bigger, bolder by the time January hits, and it's easy to feel like we don't have much. But the big thing here, especially the first few weeks of this month, is to ask, as the sun's moving through Capricorn and as it's like a very intimate space energetically for Aries. Actually, no, it's a big space for who you want to be. That's it. Capricorn energy is going to really be asking you, like, who are you now? Realize how much you have with you, how much you have gained. It's so important to take that time and to understand that your spark is with you, and you're going to be taking that and sending it outward into the world. You've just been through a major rebirth, and part of rebirth is also finding your grounding again afterward. Finding a cycle, a rhythm again. Finding your innate new rhythmic pattern, getting acquainted with who you are. It's kind of like when you adopt a new pet into your life, you're in this dialogue with each other, right? Where it's like you don't know each other yet, but you're already like smitten and you're excited, you're curious, but you still don't know each other. And you're having to figure out the rhythms, the patterns, the needs, the desires of everybody involved. I think we have that relationship with ourselves when we go through, we're our own adoption pet that we take home, and it's like we're figuring ourselves out. And this is what this month is for. The other thing that's happening though is like, so we have Mars moving into your second house. We have Uranus going direct in your second house, so creating this sense of self-value and self-love and self-motivation that has to do with the beauty of the world. We also have all this movement into Aquarius, Saturn, Jupiter. We have the sun moving into Aquarius, and we have a Mercury retrograde starting in Aquarius in January. And that Aquarian energy for you is all about your community and your friendships. It's helping you to understand and stabilize and find support in those friendships. So if you've been resisting community, community, or you've been finding it a little tricky or difficult to have consistent community over this time of rebirth, January starts to invite you into some more communal based environments that really help you, whether it's virtual or intellectual or however that looks, finding more people that are really with you. So it's really great energy for Aries. 10 of Pentacles, I love it. So this month I'm pulling 3 cards from my classic deck, and then we're going to pull 1 card from my Cosmic Tarot as our overarching message. The Emperor. Hey, Aries, you're back. I find it so funny that in some ways you're going to feel more like yourself without Mars there. Because, you know, we kind of think, well, oh, Mars is home in Aries. Awesome. Like, it's going to, and it does amplify everything, but it's almost so intense that you can't enjoy your flavor. It's like when something's really, really spicy, it's like you're not tasting any other flavors, right? It's kind of like that. So it's almost like you can see yourself clearly again with a little bit of separation with your ruling planet. And the Lovers, connection. Okay, let's see what's coming out of our Cosmic Tarot deck. Beautiful deck, slightly different interpretation of all the energies. Really fun way to receive messages on the intuitive level for the month of January. Ooh, hello. Leo energy. And there is a Leo full moon this month as well, on the 28th of January. 9 of Wands. Look at that lion, that young man. Woo. Okay, fire. Okay, so there's that full moon, which is great for Aries. It's going to illuminate creativity and spark, and just, you know, it's like as we get into Aquarius season at the end of the month and that full moon and even the Mercury retrograde, which starts on the 30th, it's like you're going to start to get in better and better and better conversation with where you are now. So, 10 of Pentacles. With the great conjunction, which was Jupiter and Saturn moving into Aquarius and meeting, which only happens every 20 years, we ended one 20-year cycle and we began another. And also with Saturn's going to be in Aquarius for just over 2 years, just a little over 2 years. And we build a lot during Saturn transits, right? And for me, this is alluding to all the building you are about to do in the coming years and even months. So one thing to keep in mind with January energy is it's very visionary. It's big, it's bold. There is a lightness, a playfulness, a curiosity, an electricity that is there. However, we want to play the long game with this energy. We're not wanting to burn out our circuits in January, forcing ourselves to try and build everything. We got to remember that we're working with energy that wants us to build long-term things. So we want to keep listening to the nudges, keep listening to the information we have now with us. Keep in mind, though, that you are having support, major support from all of these cards here, saying that if you are willing to work with your fire energy in a way that is it's like stewarding the land, right? And working naturally with little moments of brush clearing, and moments where you have a warm hearth to warm up to, and you have moments where there is a hot flame that is in fact doing something important, but that it's also not about burning the house down. You're going to get really far. You know, you're going to use your new understanding of your fire energy to build something powerful and big. Now, 10 of Pentacles also speaks to something interesting, and it's showing up here in a couple ways in this reading, which is you don't have to do everything alone. You know, you don't have to power through. 10 of Pentacles speaks to legacy. It also speaks to the close community we build, right? That's very close to like our world. And without that 11th house energy in Aquarius for you, this is going to be a time where you're finding that you don't have to do it all on your own. I could take a page from this book, I think, so I'm right there with you. So it's important that you allow yourself to open up a little bit to that connection, right? And to that community to help you. And that can look like a lot of different things, whether it's hiring somebody new or asking a friend for help, or just plain just being a little bit more open with where you're needing a little emotional support. All of that's great. Because here's the thing that's really interesting with this reading. We have the 10 of Pentacles, which is so interconnected with the long range journey and with your community. We have the Emperor, which is about being that fire starter, that leader, that powerful presence that does kind of like take that central role and say, I can do this, right? I can. Really activating. Once again, you're getting acquainted with who you are now. Who is the Emperor? Who is Aries? What does Mars mean to you now after that intimate conversation? Because it's changed. And it's important to acknowledge that our work with different energies, even our very own native kind of energies, changes as we evolve. And that's a good thing. So if you were relating to fire energy one way, if you're relating to Aries energy one way, this January, you're being asked to reevaluate what the Emperor means to you. Now, the Emperor here is in a context, right? The Emperor in this reading is surrounded by connective energies. Cards that have to do with the people we connect with, right? The people that nurture us and help us and grow us and make the Emperor actually mean something, right? An emperor, a ruler, right? A father figure, a powerful, empowered energy that sits and overlooks a process, right? Only has meaning as much as that figure is connected to the people he's overseeing, connected to the process he's overseeing, right? Otherwise, that relationship can be really distorted and really uncomfortable and really destructive, right? And we've all had this is an inner dialogue as well as an outer dialogue. And what I'm seeing here is you're being asked to be okay with sometimes, yes, being in that fire starter role and envisioning and moving. And the energy is really great for that big vision energy. And also sometimes to be in deep connection and vulnerability. Now, I'm seeing that you both have community and love relationships. And, to be fair, that full moon in Leo is romantic, especially for Aries. It is extremely romantic energy. It's all about the playful flirtatiousness of romance. And, we just haven't been working with that flirtatious romantic energy with life in general. Having a crush on our lives, that kind of feeling. It's not even just about having like a person as a crush, but just having a crush on that kind of fun, playful energy. We're needing to resuscitate that a little bit. Okay. Final card here, the overarching message to keep in mind as you're working with January's energy is the Nine of Wands. Now, in Rider-Waite, this is the world-weary warrior, as I call him, right? The guy who is standing there, and actually this is true for this deck as well. This is about somebody who feels that they do have to take the world on their shoulders, right? They have to keep a lookout. They have to keep their brave front up in order to survive. And there is valor and value in that, right? In being able to withstand difficult scenarios and situations and to find your own grit and determination. There's a lot of value in that. But if we keep in that modality for too long, we start to wonder why we feel so withdrawn from our friendships, from our love relationships, and even from ourselves. We lose intimacy with ourselves. We lose intimacy with our deeper dreams, right? Because we stay in this modality where it's just like, got to get it done, got to take care of it, got to keep that strong, gorgeous face up. And so this being the overarching message, this is kind of the keynote card for the month. While you're asking yourself, who am I now? Also be willing to rest the world-weary warrior. Hold and incorporate that part of yourself that has just been through some huge, huge things. Take the time to hug it and hold it close. Also, yes, it is brave and it is powerful when we get into a modality where we make it through and we persevere through challenge, right? When you pull together. But there's a point where that becomes overactive, right? And so the other definition of vulnerability and courage and all of that is to open ourselves. And there is an invitation this month to notice when you want to get into, I got it, I don't need help, I'm fine, put a smile on, put a strong exterior on, push through. Notice when that reaction comes up in you and ask, is it necessary right now? Do I really need to do it, or is it just a reaction to keep me supposedly safe, right? Important message coming through there. But the energy overall is really supportive of you. I mean, I cannot argue with these cards. There is something you're starting to build, connect with, understand that is really, really awesome. And I'm so excited to see this connective energy, this romantic, playful, self-actualizing energy waking up in the midst of this central point in the year. I have a New Year blessing for you to take with you as we work our way through the magic and the mystery of January. And here it is. May the burgeoning seeds hidden from sight start to crack open. May you feel supported and surrounded by nourishing community, love, and friendships. May you take your fire forward with you to warm you and to guide you and to nourish you. That is just the beginning of 2021. Ease into it. Ease into this next season of life. No matter if you're in the middle of winter, like we are in the Northern Hemisphere, or you are in the middle of summer and it's hot, this is a time of deep reflection. So I will leave you with those thoughts, my beautiful Aries friends. You can find more of this nourishing medicine that I'll be working with all of January over on Patreon. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to keep the warm furnace of conversation and intimacy rolling. So if you'd like to join me, I'll leave the link in the description box. You can also find me on Instagram and my website. And you can find PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop as well. So I'll leave all of that info in the description box. I will see you in February for more magic, and in January as well for our moon discussions. So please join me for all of those. Like and subscribe and join me on this beautiful journey. I would love for you to stick around and hang out and see what magic we can reveal together. I'll talk to you soon, and have a beautiful and nourishing January.